Netflix's new crime drama department Q lands this week with a grand ambition. A transatlantic noir cocktail that's part Nordic grit, part British brooding, and doused in American storytelling flair. Starring Matthew Goode as a haunted Edinburgh detective leading a new cold case unit, the series tries to blend multiple cultural crime traditions into a sleek package. The result? A show with impressive intentions and moments of real tension, but ultimately a tangled mystery weighed down by clunky dialogue and an uneven tone. Department Q arrives in a television landscape, obsessed with gritty crime dramas and twisted cold cases. But what sets it apart initially is its sprawling international DNA. Based on a Danish novel by Jussi Adler-Olsen, the show is penned and directed by American auteur Scott Frank, a man known for genre hopping from sharp crime thrillers like Out of Sight to high-stakes period dramas such as The Queen's Gambit. Filmed in Scotland with a primarily British cast, the production is a melting pot of cultural influences, reflecting Netflix's ambition to cater to diverse global markets while maintaining high production values. But if you think this cultural blend would automatically yield a fresh, enthralling procedural, prepare for some disappointment. While Department Q demonstrates moments of genuine suspense and nuanced character work, the series too often feels like a patchwork quilt of its inspirations, never quite gelling into the gripping noir it aspires to be. A story of trauma and guilt, wrapped in a cold case mystery. At the heart of the series is Matthew Goode's detective Carl Mork, a man whose brooding past and messy present propel the story forward. Mork is introduced in a shocking, brutal opening scene that sets the tone. He's grappling with trauma from a devastating on-the-job catastrophe, a psychological burden that colors every interaction he has. It's a classic noir archetype, but one that Goode's usual polished charm struggles to fully embody. Gone is the effortlessly suave leading man. Here, Mork is disheveled, abrasive, and, as the show repeatedly insists, a borderline jerk. Yet despite the show's insistence on painting him as socially awkward and almost unlikable, Goode never quite convinces as the truly tortured anti-hero. Mork's new partner, Akram Salim, played by Alexej Manvelov, is an intriguing contrast. A Syrian immigrant with a disturbingly effective talent for pulling confessions out of suspects. Their uneasy buddy cop dynamic forms the emotional core of the series. The friction and reluctant camaraderie between Mork's weary cynicism and Salim's unsettling methods are among Dept Nordic Noir meets British mystery, with a side of American-style Dept. Q is undeniably steeped in the aesthetics and themes of Nordic Noir, that distinct Scandinavian crime genre famous for its bleak landscapes, morally ambiguous characters, and narratives soaked in cold, methodical dread. The show leans heavily into this, especially with its central cold case mystery involving a captive held hostage in a chilling, prolonged ordeal. But it's not just Nordic Noir on display. The series attempts to fuse British mystery traditions, known for their cerebral puzzles and intricate plotting, with American crime storytelling's brisk pacing and character-driven focus. Scott Frank, who developed the show alongside British writer Chandni Lakhani, tries to orchestrate this complex blend, yet the result is often disjointed. The plot twists and leaps in logic that are standard fare in both Nordic and British crime sometimes feel forced or too convoluted for their own good. Dialogue overload, when banter becomes a burden. One of the show's biggest hurdles is its dialogue, specifically the sheer volume of it. Department Q is at times maddeningly talky. Instead of showing character through action or subtle cues, the series leans heavily on endless exchanges of banter and exposition. Conversations between Mork and Salim, Mork and his therapist, and even between Mork and his reluctant young team member, Leah Byrne, often drag on, sapping momentum from the mystery at hand. Yet, the show stumbles under its own weight. The talky script, uneven pacing, and occasionally wooden performances dilute what could have been a standout in the crowded crime drama field. Goode's Mork, while technically solid, never quite shakes off the polished leading man persona, and the show's lengthy narrative sometimes feels like it's spinning wheels rather than unraveling mysteries. For viewers who love their crime shows slow-burning, atmospheric, and heavy on psychological trauma, Department Q might still find a niche. But those expecting a razor-sharp thriller or a breakthrough noir experience may find themselves wanting more. This Nordic-British-American hybrid is an ambitious cocktail, but one that doesn't quite hit the mark. A promising start that, frustratingly, falls just short of the gripping mystery it aims to be.